From WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is ParksCenter. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to tonight's show. My name's Ben, and joining me we have Tyler.
I'm first. I'm going to claim Sivako.
Sacrilege!
Oh, no. This show's off to a great start. Rob, save us.
Hey.
We've got Nathan.
Oh, come to Loosh, everybody. Come to Loosh.
And Pete.
I knew he couldn't hear. Hi, Pete.
Pete?
I was like,
Hey,
the
can you
moment.
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I muted way too many things. I know. Well, anyway, welcome to the show and Sivako! Let's go, man.
Nope. Nobody tell him.
No.
All right. Starting off tonight's show with a bit of a big topic here. Like that, we've got three different stories all chipping into this mess. So first off, the Great Moments in History with Muppets. That show is unfortunately going to be ending very soon. With it. It looks like more budget cuts coming. One of those, at this point, is rumored to be the Burudika Band over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, which is, we believe, set to end on October 13th.
No!
But it's not all closings, because there's also some new entertainment coming to Frontierland and the Golden Horseshoe in Disneyland.
After closings.
After closing. Like, it's not, me. Like, it's been closed, though.
And they're adding those
me.
Yeah.
It's just me walking by.
So, yeah. This is a lot of cuts, and I guess maybe just like a token giving something back, almost.
Yeah.
Like this feels season. Weird. Yeah.
Every year they do this, and this one sucks. This one's really bad. Like, I cannot fathom how you could like take the Muppets out of where they're at. I mean, it really works. It's the only time you get to see the Muppets do a show live anywhere. I think at any park in all of Disney's parks in the world.
I think it's accurate.
I mean, you're needing 7 performers maybe, but they're doing tons of shows. And people sit and watch them. They're there, and people stop and catch the show. I mean, for example, I just saw the Muppets in a Facebook commercial. And I thought, why is Disney allowing the Muppets to sell stuff? Right? I get it. Wilkins Coffee, like from the beginning, Muppets have been selling stuff. Right? Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Can you imagine? Now, I'm not talking some sort of Spider-Man teams up with Papa John's promotional thing. I'm talking, can you imagine them like taking Donald Duck and being like, just go do a Chevrolet commercial? Like, they don't do that with anything.
Gosh.
So it just shows this complete disregard for the entire property. So am I shocked that they've killed the Muppets Great Moments in History? No, because they hate the Muppets. I think it's very clear they hate the Muppets. So yeah, I'm very upset about that more than anything. And I should say though that like it's funny because when I think about that, I think maybe I should be more upset about like the bands or something because there's people, and then I forget like there's puppeteers. I'm like, no, man, there's puppeteers underneath the Muppets. Like they got jobs too. Like it's not just Muppets. Like so.
Like how is Sam Eagle gonna pay his bills? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, how
Sam Eagle has a family, and this is ridiculous. What about Piggy? I mean, now she's only had that one number over in Hollywood Studios. That's not enough to raise a family.
Think of the piglets.
I'm very upset about all of this. I think everyone knows my stance. I am all about anything that is live, interactive, that is constantly changing. I'll give a quick story about the Magic Kingdom. I don't even know their names. The storytellers? What are their names? There's 4 of them.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen them in person.
No, I have several times, and they have made my day.
Yeah, there they
Yes,
are.
them. They're the Royal Majesty Makers. No, the Royal Majesty Makers. They're amazing. You have Sir Sterling. You have his niece Bridget, Squire Tobias, and Lady Llewellyn. I have run into them so many times. And before I worked here and before I lived here, they have made my trip. I didn't know if they were just people who were in costume that showed up. I didn't know if they worked for the Magic Kingdom. I didn't know who they were. but they made me smile and laugh, and they walked me around their kingdom, and it's happened more than once, and it just made my heart so warm. Like, it was some of my best memories from the Magic Kingdom. And now you pile on top of that one of my favorite new shows, Great Moments in History with Muppets. Like, this is an amazing show. Like, you finally get edutainment again for children. And I love anything that involves entertainment and with a little bit of history. Kids are learning, they're singing along, there's a live actor. And like Nathan said, like, you forget there's actors behind the Muppets. You're like, well, what about the Muppets? Like, what are they going to do? It's just, it makes my heart so sad. Like, I'm such a streetmosphere live like this. I'd rather you just close a roller coaster for like a month and just let this happen. Because this is the best part of Disney. This is what makes Disney Disney. There's rides everywhere. This is true Disney, and it's really going to hurt. So I'm deeply disappointed, and I hope it comes back. I think that it's because there's a lot of money flowing out of the company right now and not a lot coming in. So hopefully around 2021, when the money starts flowing back in, maybe we can get this kind of entertainment back.
Yeah.
You know, I would hope that it's not about budget cuts, but we can't help but think it is, right? So, you know, I want to like piggyback on what you said, Pete, is that it's kind of one of those things that makes Disney Disney. The idea that, you know, you're standing in a queue and then all of a sudden here comes a band, or there's a performer over here and something else that kind of like gets you swept up in the magic. And so when they start taking those little things away, it slowly starts to move into Six Flags territory again, where, you know, it's just queues and rides. So I don't think I'll ever truly think that way about Disney, but every time they pull one little thing, like one little thread of all of these things out, it starts to, you know, it starts to feel bad. It starts to feel like what's happening. And especially with the Muppets, because, you know, when you go into Liberty Square, and at least as a kid, you go in and it's like there's really nothing for you there. I mean, you know, there's the whole story about like the mud through the river and like the river of like human waste that's supposed to be represented on the ground in the Liberty Tree where people would be hung. And, you know, there's a fancy restaurant or, you know, the Hall of Presidents. There's really not a lot for you. And when the Muppets just pop out of nowhere and give you a show, that's special. That's awesome. And the fact that it's the Muppets, and they didn't pick some random Muppets, they have the core Muppets there to tell the story. So, I mean, to me, that part is the worst part of it. You know, losing the Muppets, and I hope it's a temporary thing. I hope maybe they're going back to retool it and they can think of something better. But when they first said this was coming, I was like, to Liberty Square, that doesn't seem to fit. But now it's like I feel like it'll be empty without it. I feel like nothing fits better than this does in Liberty Square. So I'm very, very sad to see any of the entertainment offerings go, hoping that there will be new ones coming. But especially the Muppets, I'm afraid that this will never come back, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just say real quick that Disney wants to kill the Muppets in any way, and I don't understand why that. But let's shove them behind a wall and then limit the hours on Muppet Vision 3D. Like, it just seems let's fire the person who's in charge and then tell Josh Gad we can't do his good show anymore. They want it to be terrible. But anyways, Tomorrowland. There's a really bad sign that before we go to Tomorrowland, let me just say one thing for 15 seconds, is that I was finally super excited about a new Muppets thing. And this Josh Gad impromptu, it made it seem like it would be like an improv Muppet show.
No, that show is staying.
Oh, it is this one? That's the staying one,
shows. The improv show is staying. The improv show is staying. The other show, I think it was scripted. Like, I don't remember what it was called. It was scripted. It's totally, they were separate things. We are getting the improv show. Just to be clear, there's been a lot of confusion online about that.
Okay, fair enough. So even I'm confused, and I follow this very closely because I was super excited by that. But it's still a shame to see any Muppets thing go where they have so much room on the Sue platform. They could have a whole Muppets series. They could have episodes and episodes and series of Muppets. Like, we grew up watching the Muppets, and this could be the next generation gets a piece of that. And there's a platform for it. There's plenty of room, and the fact that that's not happening is very sad. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, even Edward Katniss and Josh it was Adam Horowitz, right? I mean, even the two of them are huge Disney fans. I mean, they're the ones that did the Tron animated show. They're the ones that did Once Upon a Time and Lost. I mean, these guys are like true proponents, and the idea that they would take that project in the first place is like, oh my gosh, this was going to be something special. And I mean, I'm with you, Pete. Like the idea that this is something that could have happened and now it's not is so
it's upsetting.
sad. It's kind of like when our website rolls out all of the Disney Infinity figures that were going to happen, but now they're not because Disney Infinity is on. I'm like, oh, but that looks so cool.
Every time it hurts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well, we'll move it on from here because we do need to move on, unfortunately, to tomorrow, I suppose. A new sign got installed at the main entrance to Tomorrowland. I think it looks pretty good.
I love it.
It's a little bit in shadow here in these shots. That's a pretty good shot angle on it. But
it's hard to read.
I'm in the minority that I hate it. Everyone else likes it. I don't like it.
Really?
Doesn't like it.
I normally listen. I like. You guys know I like everything.
Hold on, let's let Tyler start. He has literally not got a word in edgewise. Tyler.
Yes. Okay. So it is sleek.
Great point, Tyler. Like I was saying.
Shut up.
I will mute you.
Shut up, Pete.
Pete, I'm getting to it. I promise. It is sleek. It is clean. It reminds me of how the Neutron movie looked, and it certainly represents what they want Tomorrowland to look like. That being said, I dislike it a lot because the original sign had so much happening on it, and it stood for so much sci-fi-ness, and this one just looks
like... The 94 one?
They just didn't paint it. Yeah, there was like Planet, there was like a big thingy off of it, and there was the cool like Meet the Robinsons font. And it emulated so much like retro sci-fi, and it was bright and colorful at night. And then this one, like, I'm assuming it'll be lit up somehow at night. Although I'd hope it'll probably just be a white light.
No, there are like lights LED in it. I think they're just not on yet.
Look cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then, but,
in the circle, I think.
I look at that and I'm like, no, they're not done it.
No, but you're right. But you're right because they aren't done. Like this is like a part of a much larger puzzle. Like they've been working on this puzzle for months and months and months, and they've been painting walls, and now they're working on the people mover and changing out the metal I don't know what to call them. The things, just the different things around the people mover, right?
The struts,
stanchions.
There we go. So here's the thing, like. All that has to take place, and then I can we gotta get rid of these purple rocks. Like, there's a lot that has to happen, and then I can make a true judgment about how this sign fits in with Tomorrowland.
They just painted the rocks purple.
That doesn't mean anything. They're not gonna stay.
You're saying they have to get rid of them. They just painted them purple like 5 minutes ago.
Muppets just started a show at Liberty. Like, what are you talking about?
That is a good point. All right, touche.
No, I just think that I don't want to judge the sign too harshly until we know. I definitely think this is sort of like a sexy Apple Tomorrowland.
I know I hate
and
it.
I think that no, I love it, but I think there's gonna be a lot of white. There's gonna be a lot of white walls, and guess what? Maintenance isn't gonna do like 3 years after those white walls are white.
Oh,
like, they're not gonna take care of them.
No, this is why I hate it.
Yeah,
We'll
see.
I don't want to cut you off, but I'm just
no,
saying.
That's it. I'm nothing.
You brought me into my whole argument. Is that I don't want to see white. I don't want to see regular print or fonts. I don't want to see clean lines. I'm coming to Walt Disney World. I want my mind to be blown. I'm going to Magic Kingdom, the highest visited theme park in the world. I am expecting my mind to be blown. I don't want to see a sign that resembles elevators this way, escalators this way. That is what it looks like. It just looks like your everyday sign found in every other park or mall or anything else. It is so boring. I'd rather you have all these gadgets and gizmos from 1980 up top, where I'm like, maybe they'll make a comeback. Maybe I never figure that out. That's how you make gravity fail. I don't know, but give me something, imagination. You gave me a street sign from a mall. You gave me a nothing. You gave me the worst font on a white scale with a big circle. I hate it so much, and I love Disney so much.
So this is why I said we need to do a double shot on this. So the one thing I want to make a point here is, like, the idea of the last 94 redesign was that it was retro future. This is now retro Tomorrowland. Like the basis of this stems from the new Monsters Laugh Floor sign. That is an original like sign that looks a lot like the one from Mission to Mars, like back in the day. They're going to make this feel retro, but they're going to make it retro Tomorrowland. That's the vibe I'm getting. It's half
fine.
Apple,
So
and it's half like sexy 1970 something like Tomorrowland. And I think that's cool. I just think that like you have to really be a nerd to want that, and I am. So I'm okay with it, I guess.
Pete's face.
I am okay with this if it wasn't Tomorrowland. And I was okay with it with Monsters, Inc. because Monsters Tomorrowland might be our 1950s. Who knows where they're coming from? We might be the future. But when you're going to call the entire... I'm saying, their jokes are very old. They're corny. Their storyline doesn't take place in a certain time frame of 1800s, 1900s future. You're calling it Tomorrowland, which means anyone who doesn't know Disney means the land of tomorrow. Like,
hey Ben, are we doing a post show?
Yeah, we're doing a post show.
Okay, well then let's move on.
This is the worst sign I've ever seen.
If you want to hear the rest of this converson, patreon.com/WDWNT. Get on there real quick.
I don't think I feel
I have a lot of positives.
Hold on, hold on. Pete, you're like, you had way too much pop. Rob.
Yeah, I was just going to say that somebody said, hey, thank goodness they finally put in the giant cup holder in Tomorrowland.
Oh my gosh, it is.
That's funny.
It is. Oh my gosh,
awesome.
I can't unsee it.
It's a cup holder. That is awesome. That's great.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Good night, everyone.
That's really good.
All right,
10 minutes, let's go.
Moving on from there.
Just Ben and Rob on this one.
Yeah, this is apparently just going to be the me and Rob show for this topic. So DVC, previously, if you wanted to be a full-blooded DVC member, you needed to buy, I believe it was 75 points of DVC directly from Disney. If you buy it secondhand, like if you buy those points from a second party, then you are not considered a full member of DVC when it comes to things like getting the annual passes, getting access to the lounge, things like that. They've now bumped that up from 75 points to 100 points. Back in my day when I bought in, it was 25 points, and that was all you needed in order to do this. I can't stand this. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And the bar at the bottom, Rob, go ahead.
That's amazing. The bar at the bottom is the best part.
Yeah, okay, the bar at the bottom, that's awesome. So here's the thing that I have to say about this is that I think that when you buy them aftermarket, you're going around the Disney system. Somebody wanted to unload them. You're getting them at a better price, and that's great. If what you're looking for is bargain basement pricing on points, that is so smart and absolutely great. Here's the problem that I have is as somebody who bought, as I said, like pure uncut Disney Gold DVC.
Pure uncut.
Right. I buy these and then I go to like some kind of a party or register for something and it sells out in like 18 seconds. A lot of that are the people who they're not full members, they're aftermarket who bought in just enough to get under the wire. And I do think that people who buy the full price points should receive benefits that you don't necessarily get for being the aftermarket crowd. So as somebody who bought in, I definitely think that because of the price point you pay, which is much more, you should be rewarded in some way for being like a true a true purchaser of these points. I mean, that to me is saying you have all these things you're doing for DVC members, but you have some members who bought in for 20 points and you have some members who bought in for more. And now I feel like, well, I'm not getting my money's worth out of it. That's what I'm saying. You're shaking your head.
Yeah, so the counterpoint to that, when you sell your DVC, you lose access to your benefits you had as a DVC member. Okay. When you buy from somebody, you don't get those benefits. They have disappeared into the aether. They are gone forever as soon as you transfer your DVC. This is a negative sum game. Like
But don't you?
It's not like we're putting more people into the system. It's not like I can fork my DVC and sell it 5 ways and put 5 people into the lines for these events. No, I have to sell it all in one chunk, or however many chunks I bought it from Disney in, and to an individual, and now they don't get any of these perks or benefits. What I'm talking about is the people
who buy the minimum just to get in there. And so they've got the minimum just to get in the door on the benefits, and then you've got the other people who are out there who bought, all of them from Disney, but you've got the people who buy the minimum, which is what you said you did. Which again, I get it. I mean, they're not cheap. So you buy 25 or whatever you bought to get in there, and then now you've got the same benefits as somebody else. So there's the ability to do it still, but now they've raised that up a little bit more, because I do think it's getting very congested in there. Like I said, it's very hard to get into these special events. I go online to get into the Epcot event, and like 3 minutes in and they're all gone. Well, what kind of a benefit is that if you don't have enough space for people in there, and you don't have enough space because people were buying in? I think that honestly, let me put this back on Disney for a second, though. There are 2 different options you had. One was to go in and make more room for people and more benefits for them, and the other is to kind of lower or like raise the bar and make it more difficult for people to get in. I wish they had done more for everybody so that everybody had a chance to get something, but this is their best way to manage this. Is to, without losing anything, I guess, is to raise the bar on how many points you have to buy.
I still disagree, but I'll save it for the post show.
Okay, it's just a rich person conversation. DVC points. Who has the most? We get it.
It's
just a vacation measuring contest, is what you're saying?
How I go to Disney every year, kind of a conversation. That's to those.
I have 96 at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Well, I have 103 at the Boardwalk.
Pete, you live in Florida.
Pete. Poor Rob got to speak like one time tonight. You just railroading him about it. I tell you what.
I let him have his 30 seconds of overtime, and he was
bless you, Rob. Bless you, Rob, for being on this show and dealing with people like this gentleman.
First of all, I am the biggest Rob fan in the world, and everyone knows that. Everyone knows I go like this. Whenever I go like this, everyone thinks it's to God. It's just
all right. I have to stop this train wreck and move on with the show. I apologize for the inconvenience, but. The next topic is not Rob. It is the fact that we've got exclusive merchandise leaking out of the exclusive areas that we were told it was going to be in. This has happened in Pandora. Now it's happening with Galaxy's Edge. And I think this is just kind of ridiculous. Like, it's not even like what's leaking out of the park. It's just leaking to a different building in the same park. So it
sometimes like 5 feet away, too.
Yes. It's like, what are you doing?
All right, I'm going to talk quick so that way I'm going to be done. But I have a huge problem with this. This is the problem with combining one role. So Bob Chapek is the chairperson of Parks, Experiences, and Products. So now, where it used to be Parks can do their thing and have totally immersive lands and merchandise and everything else, now Products are, well, we have to sell these products. So when you had this exclusive thing where Star Wars was in Star Wars, and you had these beautiful... Pandoran, I don't even know, is that Pandorian?
Yeah, Pandoran's fine.
Pandoran.
Yeah. Artifacts in that land only, on that planet, and you had, the Galaxy's Edge on Batu only. It was cool. You had to go to that land to go find it, and you search it out, and you go for that reason. Now, when you're walking out of Hollywood Studios or walking out of Animal Kingdom, the fact that I can just grab a Banshee on the way out in the gift shop, or I can just grab a Porg or whatever whatever you want to buy on the way out on Main Street, not Main Street USA, on Hollywood Boulevard. It's just so upsetting. You're just taking the fun out of what Disney is that you're totally immersed, except for merchandise. You just grab that whenever you want. Like, it's just why? Like, why? I get it. You want to sell more, and it's a last minute purchase, and you're tired of the day. You said no when you were in the land to your kid, and now the kid's pointing at it.
I want it
or
again.
The girlfriend or whatever it is, but like. And I get it. They're going to sell more. 100% they will sell more. But
that's beside the point.
It just hurts my heart because that's not what Disney was all about to me. Like, you're going to sell merch no matter what. Put merch in there and you'll sell something. Don't let lands bleed. That's why you create these amazing transitions and these amazing lands. Now I'm done.
23 seconds left.
Yeah,
Tyler?
You're right, because it's like people who want stuff at the last minute as they're exiting the park. But I think what Pete is saying, and I agree with him, is that when you have stuff like Pandora, which is like Ace themed, or the stuff on Batu, which is supposed to be like built in that area, you want to be able to see that in the land, not see that in other merchandise stores. If it is, then brand it to like Disney Store or whatever, and I'm done. No, like that was actually the end of my point. My point, actually. I was talking so fast.
It also lessens the impact when you see it in the land for the first time as well, because you're like, oh, I just saw that in the shop down the way. It doesn't matter.
There's something to buying a Banshee with that whole experience, but then when you to walk you through, like, these are Banshees, here's how they live and everything. Sorry about my camera. But then you miss that whole experience of buying it from like the Rookery and everything because you're just getting it at Joe's store or whatever it's called.
And what if you see a generic Banshee or the port first? Like, God forbid you're waiting in line early morning before rope drop and you bleed into the stores and you see that first, and now you're in the line. You're like, I've already seen that. It takes away from the land and the experience. It's just a real shame.
Moving forward from there, though, over to Animal Kingdom, we've got a couple pieces of news out of Animal Kingdom. We've got a New Year's Eve celebration coming this year for pin trading and a countdown on the Tree of Life. And we've also got Primeval Whirl being announced as a seasonal attraction and testing.
Oh, no!
It's actually moving footage from today.
Yeah, but it's moving like to that farm upstate. Like cow, like it's you send your dog and your bunny and everything.
It's exciting. I'm thrilled. I like Primeval World. I have no problem with Primeval World, but at the same time, seasonal, that stinks. But I think that, like, if Stitch has proven anything, they're going to be like, no, it's still here, and then they're going to like be dismantling it. And like, no, it's not, and they're like, no, it's going to come back. It's going to come back for Easter. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, we'll see about that. New Year's Eve, I've never done one. I think I would do one at Animal Kingdom, maybe, because Epcot looks like just a terrible thing.
No,
it really looks crazy. It just looks crazy. Too many people.
Crazy.
But I don't know. Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, actually, you've done these.
Yeah, I did New Year's Eve, and I mean, just to clarify and then throw it back to Nathan, but like I did New Year's Eve last year and actually took Pete's advice because it was what he had said he was going to do, which was to go the day before to Magic Kingdom on the 30th, and then on the 31st go to Epcot. And it was a great thing to do because Magic Kingdom closed down to capacity like noon. And then we saw the same fireworks the night before, so that was fine. And then seeing them at Epcot was really cool. The problem was, even though Epcot's the biggest park, like physically to walk around in, not like the back of Animal Kingdom, but just the walking space. They even opened up back areas, which was kind of cool to see. But it was still jam packed to the point where like it's going to be tough for me to convince my wife to ever go back. I had a great time, but it was definitely like shoulder to shoulder sea of humanity. People in the middle directing you which way to go, even at Epcot. But I do think Epcot was kind of awesome. But the thing is at Animal Kingdom, and is that it closed, like they did New Year's early and then closed. So it didn't. I don't think it stayed open till midnight. I think it was like they did there like 8, and then they were done. And then I think just Star Wars fireworks.
Yeah. So I think it'll be kind of cool, and I think the difference I think is the tree is so like seeable from so many different directions, and things are spread out in a different way that it might help with crowd. I think that could be good overall. I like this idea. It'll never happen, but I like this idea that like Epcot and Magic Kingdom are like the crazy New Year's Eve parties, and Animal Kingdom's like, this is the introvert one. Like, just come and like
that's what I was thinking.
I was thinking that too.
Everyone just like bows like before the tree, like a circle of life. Like
it's all good. Let's just have a nice evening.
2, 1, happy New Year.
And there'll be a picture of Nathan.
The animals are sleeping. We just snap.
Start from a corner somewhere. Taking in New Year's Eve at the park.
I would die for that. But only thing I ask for Animal Kingdom is that like you get to ride Dinosaur and the Carnotaurus as a little New Year's Eve hat.
I want this.
Instead of yelling at you, it's like, one of those party.
Or what if he had that like glow necklace on that said like 2020, like just like around his neck, like just 2020. I would love it.
Yeah, the two O's. Yeah.
We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. Happy New Year!
We made it to 2020,
and we made it to the last topic of tonight's show. I don't know how we did it.
Here we go.
It's true.
So, real quick, Disney Plus. It's currently beta testing in the Netherlands. But as a result of that fact, we do have a very good picture of what the content is going to be on there when it launches in the States. Now, to be fair, there might be some changes, things added, things taken away when it goes stateside. But there's a good picture of some stuff, and there's some good classic content on here. Like we've talked at length about all the new stuff.
Like, are you saying that the Dutch are going to show us a preview of a rewind through history? What? Because that's... Well, the Dutch were the first to premiere the picture of our Cosmic Rewind roller coaster, and now it's premiering in the Netherlands.
Wow.
And now we're rewinding. It's a stretch, but sorry.
Hey, Pete, I recommend no caffeine after 7 p.m.
Okay, we'll see you later. All right, see you later. Bye.
Oh my God. Is that beer?
Well, we wanted to talk about the old stuff, right? So, for me, we wanted to highlight some of the old stuff that we love on this list. And for me, I'm very excited that Doug's on that list, the TV show Doug.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know if it's just the Nickelodeon or just the Disney version, or also the Nickelodeon version. But I would hope all, because it didn't say brand spanking new Doug, which was what the Disney one was sort of called. So I'm hoping all of Doug is on there, and I know the movie is, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited for Doug.
Yes!
Yeah, the beat.
The beats, baby! I love that Doug is coming back. Killer Tofu Tour 95. I love it. All right, so what I'm most excited about, because I've talked too much, I'll let you guys talk. Cool Runnings is the greatest movie probably ever made, so I'm very excited it's coming back. And obviously, I'm a fan of Disney Plus, baby. Boom!
Disney Plus and chill. I love it.
Kiss my lucky egg.
Very cool.
Kiss the lucky egg. Sanka.
See, I'm a little upset because I thought every Disney movie was going to be on this list, and maybe that's because it's beta tested. But I was looking for Condor Man, and it's not on this list.
Oh my gosh!
There's no Harland. Yeah, there's no Harland Williams in Rocketman either.
What's that?
There's no Harland Williams in Rocketman either. Like, there's some
not Rocketeer, Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
The other thing is, I grabbed this list of movies, and it says there's 688, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty big. But I feel like there should be more with the Fox acquisition. And then I started looking a little bit closer, and they list like Luxo Jr. and Lou and Bao as part of the movies. So obviously those are, and Lifted, those are all Pixar animated shorts.
Wow.
So. So there's not like everything here. I mean, you've got Marvel, Pixar, Fox, Disney Channel, all of these, and I mean, there are over 100 Disney Channel movies alone. So the fact there are only 688 listed here and some of them are short means that we're missing stuff. But I don't think we heard what Tyler's old one is.
Yeah.
Mine's Gargoyles. Thanks for watching ParksCenter.
Woo!
Hey.
No.
Oh man!
What about you?
I defer
Ben,
my time to Tyler. You should have at least 60 seconds uninterrupted. Please talk about whatever you want. Go ahead. We'll cut this out.
Is this around the hub?
Yeah.
There's so many old things on there I'd never seen. Like, I'm sure if I search Tim Conway, there's gonna be like 700 movies that pop up. Like all these old obscure comedies, like the computer that wore tennis shoes.
Yes.
Or like all the Herbie movies. Honestly, though, I saw a lot of like old cartoons. Like there's like 6 different versions of Spider-Man that came out between like 1999 and now. Like each one of those are a completely different series, and I'd love to just go check out all those Spider-Man ones. But yeah, Gargoyles popped up on the list as I was scrolling, and I'm like, oh, I remember loving that so much. And I would just really love to be able to rewatch a whole series properly without having to sneak around to find like good quality versions of these episodes of shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's the
really
big thing is the lack of that mess now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Speaking of things that need live action remakes, Gargoyles, come on.
No.
Please.
No, leave it alone.
Oh no, it would look like cats.
Oh well.
You're saying there's no live action Gargoyles out there? Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, that's going to do it for this week. I know we've gone a little bit over, but if you want more ParksCenter goodness, stay tuned. We do have a post show coming for our WIGS members. It's how we refer to our patrons. Yeah?
I just want to give a big shout out to the entire staff of the Boardwalk, the Atlantic Dance.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
The staff members. No, it's okay. We can wrap it up real quick, but they were unbelievable this week. I can tell the story in the post show. If you're a Patreon member, you'll definitely hear it. But big shout out if any single cast members from the Boardwalk are watching. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a really cool story. Stick around for that. If you're not currently one of our WIGS members, you can head over to patreon.com/WDWNT and sign up there to get access to our post show, all the other post shows we do, and all the other great exclusive content we have over there. So I recommend you check that out. I also definitely want to remind you folks that we are brought to you by Never Grow Up Vacations, the official travel partner of WDWNT. Never Grow Up Vacations is an authorized Disney vacation planner whose focus is in making magic for their clients, and with over 20 years of experience booking Disney vacations, we're sure they can help you make your next trip even more magical. So head on over to WDWNT.travel to contact them about your next trip today. Thank you, folks, for joining us for this lengthy episode. If you're staying tuned for the post show, we'll see you in a moment. Otherwise, we will see you all next week.
Sibako!
Bye!
Choo!